Takeover talks plenty of transfer rumours, a new sponsor for the front of the shirt next season, and an emotional goodbye from Aaron Creswell. That's just some of the headlines around West Ham over the last few days. And since it's Saturday morning, I thought we could have a bit of a catch-up, a little discussion around those headlines. So don't be shy. Get involved in the comments section below. But first, I want to start with today's headline, which is that West Ham are still in for Kyle Walker-Peters. Now, obviously, we know he's leaving Southampton at the end of the season. He will become a free agent. And we've been linked to him a lot. And I'm not even talking about 12 months ago. I'm just talking about in the last few months since knowing he will be leaving Southampton on a free. But we go back 12 months ago, obviously, there was a deal on the table, essentially. We negotiated with Southampton for Kyle Walker-Peters. They told us the price tag, how much we had to pay. Reports vary from 15 to 25 million. I don't think it'll be 25 million. I don't think any club's demanding that for a fullback that they're expecting to leave on a free. I'd imagine it would have been a similar price tag to Aaron Wan-Bissaka, but we decided to go with the Salthouse client. Not for that reason. It's Saturday morning. It's just a bit of fun, but we decided Wan-Bissaka was the better player, the better price tag. It was the better deal, and it's worked out. It was the correct decision. But I do think a big part of that would have been, well, Kyle Walker-Peters is out of contract in 12 months' time. If we still want him then, we'll just try and get him then. And this was before the ball was even kicked, so Southampton could have stayed up. And I think we just decided that perhaps they'd get relegated and he would leave on a free. We've got it right. We made that call 12 months ago with Walker-Peters, Wan-Bissaka, Southampton, and it's been bang on. Now we're into the period where he's becoming a free agent, so if we still want him, let's go get him. And I really hope this transfer happens. I like him. I think he's had a decent season for Southampton. He's not been outstanding. He's not even been their best player, in my opinion. He's been a decent player in a poor team that's got relegated as expected. But we're not bringing him in to replace Aaron Wan-Bissaka. We're bringing him in to compete with Wan-Bissaka, to compete with Emerson, because he can play left back and right back. I think that's really important with this player because we do need to bring someone in. Soufal's leaving, so we definitely need someone that can play right back or possibly right wing back or right centre back, because Potter's showing that he will go from a 3 to a 4 and back to a 3. So we need someone that can play more than one position, ideally 2 or 3. I think Walker-Peters brings that. Not necessarily the centre-back position, the right centre-back of a back 3. I wouldn't want to see him play there. I've got little evidence to suggest he can do that role, and he's not the tallest or the strongest of players. But he can certainly play left wing-back or right wing-back, and he's played that a lot this season for Southampton, as they've played a back 3 for the entire season. So he can play 2 of that. But what it would mean is that if we wanted to, we could use Wan-Bissaka as that right centre-back. I think we will see that happen more next season, because I imagine Potter's plan for Somerville is to play one of the wing-back roles. So when he's available, I wouldn't be surprised to see Wan-Bissaka as part of the back 3, which makes sense. Because at the minute, we've got Creswell in there, we've got a full-back playing in there. He can come out with the ball, he can push forward, he can be that extra man in midfield. So taking Creswell out, we know he's leaving as well. How do we replace that? Well, do you go sign a centre-back that's comfortable doing that? That's difficult. They tend to be very expensive. Or the alternative is that you find another fullback that is capable. We know Wan-Bissaka is capable of doing that role. So I wouldn't be surprised. I appreciate a lot of people saying, no, leave him wing-back. I'm just saying, this is why I think it makes sense going after Walker-Peters. Now, the other 2 clubs linked to him strongly are Spurs. I can't see that. And Everton. If I'm removing my claret and blue specs, I think he should go to Everton. There's a huge vacancy at right back at Everton. Their last game they played Ashley Young there. Nathan Patterson isn't up to it. O'Brien's been playing there for Moyes and done really well there, but he's still traditionally a centre back, and that will be his position long term, you'd imagine. So I think there's a right back spot open for Walker-Peters. That's not there at West Ham. That's Wan-Bissaka's shirt, and there's only 2 shirts not up for grabs in the West Ham team, Bowen's and Wan-Bissaka's. But like I said, he can play other roles. I really hope this happens. It would be good to get a major signing, a strong signing in quickly, because we've got a lot of business needing done this summer. To get this one done would make sense. So fingers crossed it happens. And I believe it. The reason I believe it is because it just makes sense. Now, West Ham don't always do things that make sense, granted. But this one, you'd imagine his wages would be in keeping with the average wage of the squad. He's a good age. He's homegrown. There will be a signing on fee, but even that you would expect it to be not ridiculous. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm hoping, fingers crossed, this one occurs. Right, before we get on to some other headlines, if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe and also drop a like on the video as well by clicking the thumbs up button. And just a reminder, our Jared Bowen raffle ends tomorrow night, Sunday night at 8 p.m. So massive thank you to everyone who's got a ticket or two so far. They're £5 each, but if you buy two, you get a third ticket for free. All the proceeds come to Hammers Chat. It's just another revenue stream to allow us to do this as a job. That's the transparency there. Got 3 prizes up for grabs. The prize number 1 is the signed Jared Bowen shirt. Prize number 2 is the programme, the Conference League final programme signed by Jared Bowen. And prize number 3 is also the programme. So there's 2 programmes. I'm showing them on screen side by side so you know that there's more than one programme signed by Jared Bowen. We have purchased or ordered, whatever, however you want to word it, a captain's armband signed by Jared Bowen. Unfortunately, it's not arrived in time. We need to declare the prizes so that when Raffle, the company, they do the draw, we don't. We just send the prize out. When they do their draw, they need to know exactly what prizes we are giving out. So that's the 3 confirmed prizes up for grabs tomorrow night. Best of luck. Right, takeover chat. I ain't having it. I'm not having it. That rumour came out a week ago that we were in talks with, or an American person was in talks at potentially taking over Gold's shares. No, it's leaked far too easily for me. These types of things are heavily covered by NDAs from the word go. And then since then, I think there's been a hell of a lot of guesswork by people trying to work out who the supposed American can be, looking at, you know, the Americans with sports business interests, Americans involved in investment firms, rich Americans, billionaires who are worth a lot of money. And I think off the back of a rumour, there's many rumours built off the back of that. I'm taking it with a pinch of salt, if that. I'm firmly in the I will believe it when I see it camp. I believe that the Gold shares are up for grabs. I obviously believe that Kretinsky and Sullivan aren't interested in purchasing more. Otherwise, they would have done because they get first refusal at, I'd imagine, a reduced rate. You know, when Kretinsky bought into West Ham, he agreed the future share price there and then. It might be that that share price has dropped since then, but there's negotiation. If he wanted it to happen, it would have happened. So I do believe they're up for sale, but they've been up for sale for a while, and I appreciate the shares have been in probate, so it's been difficult. However, the Gold family knew they would come out of probate eventually, and they know what their shareholding is in West Ham. These negotiations could have started ages ago if they really wanted them to. So I just find it very convenient that the minute they come out of probate, that someone all of a sudden is interested. I ain't having it. I don't know why this rumour's out there, if it is made up. Maybe it's true, and I hope it is. It would be nice to see movement on the ownership side of things. But I just think all the talk around it is just people guessing as to who this mystery person, if they exist, is. So there you go. That's why I've not done a video about it, and that's why I've not mentioned it. Well, I have mentioned it in a video because other people have asked, but that's why I've not done a video specific about that topic. I don't believe it. It's not even like a transfer rumour where I don't believe transfer rumours. I'll discuss it hypothetically because there's a hypothetical discussion to be had. So we get linked to Kyle WalkerPeters. We can discuss that hypothetically. What would it mean to West Ham? Do I want it to happen? When it comes to proposed takeover, I know nothing about these people. We don't even know who the mystery person is meant to be. People are just guessing as to who it could be. I feel like I'd be wasting my time researching these supposed people that could invest into West Ham. We'll wait and see. Anyway, moving on. Aaron Creswell, that was an emotional goodbye. West Ham put it out. Creswell's in tears. He's got a nice message, says all the things you'd expect him to say. West Ham, he called him a West Ham legend, about how grateful they are for his service. Not that grateful, are they? There's still no testimonial. But you can't be that grateful. If you were that grateful, if you genuinely appreciated what Aaron Creswell was giving to the club, you'd make the testimonial happen. They haven't. And I know people say, testimonials are a thing of the past because they used to be used as raising one last payday for players when they were leaving the club, and back then they needed that financial gift, whereas now they don't. But players don't do it for that anymore. They do it to give to charity. So actually, while there's no testimonial, Creswell's not receiving the thank you from West Ham fans he could have. Charities are actually the ones that are financially missing out in this regard. It's just ridiculous how they say the London Stadium's a home, but we can't have our own testimonial in it. It's just, it actually irritates me a hell of a lot more than it should. And it's not just because it's Aaron Creswell, it's the principle around it. It's the lack of caring. Stick the event on, make it incredibly cheap. I don't know, kids for £1 or something, adults £5, kids for £1 or something. So people that perhaps can't afford to go to London Stadium to watch West Ham play Liverpool because it's £140 for one adult and one kid's ticket, they could maybe take their kids to the London Stadium then, make it a fun family day. Launch one of the kits alongside it if you really want to. Because we can't launch the new kit until the 1st of July, because Betway's contract and sponsorship runs until the 30th of June, we're kind of stuck anyway. So it would be in the summer that we launch the new kit. Do it in line with that. It's actually, selling the kit. It might sound silly. Aston Villa are launching their new away kit now because we're in a different PSR window. So all the proceeds they take for that away kit between now and the end of June, that money goes into this PSR window. They sell, 50,000 shirts at £50 each, which is cheap. It'll be more than that. 2.5 million. Bang, there you go. I just think it's short-sighted by the club. I think this is a big mistake because it's not like we're going to have a testimonial every year. Once Creswell's gone, Antonio joined in 2015, so he's due one as well, technically. But after them two, when's the next one possibly going to be? Bowen, eventually? But here's the thing, I bet they do one for Jared Bowen. They will, of course they will, and they should. I don't know. It just irritates me. Speaking of that new sponsor, Boyle Sports has been announced as the new shirt sponsor of West Ham for next season for 1 year, £12.5 million. Betway was paying £10 million a year, so it's a small increase. It's another betting company. Next year's the final season that Premier League clubs can have a betting company on the front of their shirt. Beyond that, it can go into the sleeve. So there may be, a longer partnership with Boyle Sport coming. Just first and foremost, it's for that initial season on the front. I'm not arsed. It doesn't bother me. As long as it's nothing... I get why people don't like gambling things on the front of the shirt. I completely understand it. But as long as it's nothing too dodgy, Boyle Sports are a legitimate company. Betway's a legitimate company. But as long as it's nothing eyebrow raising where you get these Chinese companies sponsoring it and it's not really for me and you. I remember reading an article by people who know far more than I do about these things, about why Chinese companies sponsor the front of English shirts, and it's because gambling's illegal. So what they'll do is set up a company elsewhere, but obviously how do you promote it to Chinese people? Well, you pay money, get on the front of an English Premier League shirt, and then when people are watching the Premier League in China, they're getting promoted. They're a Chinese gambling company not based in China. And that is essentially why it goes on. I wouldn't want to go down that road. But it's about getting as much money as possible for West Ham. It's a 25% increase on what Betway were paying us. So a success in that regard. Be interesting to see what we do beyond. This time next year, we're going to have a new sponsor front of shirt. I'm worried about that. Because those who are good at their job will go get a strong sponsor, a financially good deal for the club. I'm not sure we're in that category of clubs. Actually, I don't think we are. I'm a bit worried as to what we're going to get. Not necessarily how much we're going to get for that front of sponsorship. Because at the minute, we've got $12.5 million. We ain't getting that in 12 months because betting companies pay a premium. So we will lose that. Brady's really going to have to earn her dough for once in 12 months' time, and I don't think she'll manage. Tomorrow, last home game of the season against Nottingham Forest, I am praying for Vladimir Soufal goal. Please, can we have a Soufal goal? We'd love to see him score away. If we get a pen, I don't care. 0-0, 2-0 up, 2-0 down, 1-0 down. I don't care. We get a pen. I want to see Soufal taken in. Hopefully he scores. Thunders it down the middle of the goal. I want to see him do a lap of celebration. Finally put the running track to good use at that stadium. But I would love to see Soufal score, because I know not everyone subscribes to my idea about how I would approach the game and stuff like that. I get it. But if we beat Forest 1-0 at home tomorrow, I'm not going to remember it. I'm going to have forgotten about it by the time we play Ipswich in a week's time, maybe. But if Soufal scores a goal, I don't care about the score. I will remember that goal forever. Right? Life is about making memories. Beating Forest at home and finishing 14th instead of 15th isn't really doing it for me. Soufal scoring a goal in a West Ham shirt, even if we lose 4-1, I will remember that goal for the rest of my life. So I'm praying Soufal can get something. So Vladimir, if you're watching this, we might get Kyle Walker-Peters to replace you. We might not. I want to see you score. I want to see you do the business. Thomas Souček, will he, won't he? Don't know. A lot of rumours saying that we told him he's up for sale. A lot of rumours saying we've told him, well, we haven't told him anything, but we haven't told him he's up for sale. I don't think we've said anything to him. That would just be stupid. I think he loves West Ham. I think Potter loves him. I'll be surprised if Thomas Souček is not here next season when the transfer window closes. I will be shocked. I think Alvarez will go. But I think my prediction at this point is that Souček and Ward-Prowse will still be here next season. One, because we can't get rid of him, and the other one because we don't want to get rid of him. Two completely different mentalities. Anyway, that's it for West Ham. FA Cup final day today. I'm looking forward to it. I'm Team Crystal Palace, I'm not going to lie. But I've done a video about it. I've got my own YouTube channel called Tartan Geo. A massive thank you to you lot who have moved over there, because it's going all right now. It's monetized. So I've earned 12 quid on the channel so far. I've earned £12.46. So I'm going to work out how to spend my £12.46. Don't know what I'll get. I was going to say a takeaway. You can't even get a takeaway for that anymore, can you? Don't know. But anyway, I've done a preview of the FA Cup final for anyone arsed. Links in the description below in the pinned comments. So massive thank you to you lot, though, that I've gone over there, because it's helped get the channel up and running. And it's now attracting Newcastle fans, Aston Villa fans. And in the last 24 hours, I've had Crystal Palace fans over there. So it's been nice. I'm enjoying it. I'm talking about football away from West Ham. And it's been a nice break, actually. Anyway, whatever you're up to today, enjoy it. I'll be watching. Who we got? We got Wimbledon are playing. I can't recall. They're playing someone in the playoffs. I'll be watching that game, and then I will be watching the FA Cup final, and I'll catch up with you all tomorrow for the build-up show to the Nottingham Forest game, and we'll see what Potter does. But anyway, I'm off. Thoughts in the comments below, please. Drop a like on it before you disappear. Scam you Hammers chat. Enjoy your weekend, and catch up with you in a bit.